Weather Center is busy tonight tracking active weather advisories.
That's right. It's been a bumpy night for some of us across southern Wisconsin. I'll let you know how much longer the severe weather threat is expected to last, and we'll talk winter weather in the near term as well.
And some staff at UW-Madison are raising concerns tonight about flock cameras on campus. We'll explain their worries and why officers support the program. Plus, Madison police are stepping up traffic enforcement following a teenager's death. We've got you covered on why slowing down vehicles is so important.
We've got you covered. This is 27 News at 10.
Hey, good evening and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Brandon Taylor. There's a severe thunderstorm watch for a majority of our area through midnight. And as we take a live look outside right now, you can see that rain move through. You can see wet streets right there as we take a look at the Beltline here on the west side of town. 27 Storm Track Chief Meteorologist Cameron Hopman is following the potential for severe weather and then tracking winter weather coming next, Cam?
Yeah, a little bit of everything this evening, Brandon. We've had mainly shower and thunderstorm activities thus far, with multiple severe thunderstorm warnings across the far southern reaches of the region. But really at this time, what we're watching, shower storms, the threat of severe weather starting to wane at least a little bit. We still have that severe thunderstorm watch through midnight early tomorrow morning. Right now, the National Weather Service maintaining that, and we're going to continue to see that threat at least over the next several hours. Right now, though, looking at your Doppler radar at this point, we're going to continue to see that threat of severe weather over the next little while, with some pockets of heavier shower and thunderstorm activity as well. So you can see some heavier rainfall across the far northern reaches of Dane County. A nice little pocket of shower and thunderstorm activity off to our south. But this is the kicker. Look at what our current temperature is. 2 degrees above the freezing mark as of right now. This is why the majority of us have not seen a significant severe weather threat. It is way too cold at this hour. I'll let you know exactly how long that severe weather threat is expected to last, and because temperatures are falling, when we could see that potential for both freezing rain and snowfall. That's all coming up in my full forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, Cam. Well, tonight is a good night to download our 27 Storm Track weather app. You'll be able to see if storms are headed your way and if you should expect snow or ice in the morning. It is free to download. Well, the same storm system slammed northern Illinois. Take a look at this video of some of the damage from a suspected tornado reported in Kankakee County. Strong winds flattened structures and tore off tree limbs. There was no immediate word if anyone was hurt. The debate over surveillance technology is growing on the UW-Madison campus. Monday, the Academic Staff Assembly passed a resolution asking the school to end their contract with Flock Safety. Renee Aldana has you covered with how they work and data policies that are put in place.
The UW-Madison campus has a total of 8 cameras that were installed last year. They take still images of license plates and store them in a cloud database that can be searched by agencies during investigations. The resolution approved Monday by the Academic Staff Assembly raises concerns over data being misused or shared widely. But the resolution is just an advisory to the university administration, calling an end to the Flock contract.
Once that infrastructure is in place, it can be used for so many things.
Co-president of the United Faculty and Academic Staff Union at UW-Madison, Barrett Elward, is one of the authors of the resolution. He pointed out UW-Madison's transparency portal with Flock shows more than 180 cars detected in the last 30 days.
And so that's not just UW-Madison staff and students and faculty, right? That's that's people in Madison, people passing through. So we have huge concerns about that.
Flock Safety says the cameras only take pictures with access controlled by the school. Every search is recorded in the system's audit trail. During Monday's meeting, UW Police Chief Brett Plish spoke to staff and answered questions about the systems and safeguards they have in place.
I would rather that we engage in conversations about the ethical and responsible use of a technology instead of letting that technology just fall by the wayside when we know it can help victims of crimes.
Since the resolution is only an advisory, the university's administration will make the final decision on whether UW continues using Flock cameras. Brandon, back to you.
All right, Renee Aldana for us tonight. A Trumpelow County resident has filed a notice of claim and notice of injury against the city they live in for the installation of Flock safety cameras. Andy Parrish says the city allowed the installation of surveillance equipment without the approval of the Common Council. Parrish is asking the city to immediately deactivate the cameras until they are approved by a majority vote from the Common Council. The La Crosse City Vision Foundation is launching a campaign to add more cameras. The group, along with the La Crosse Police Department and the La Crosse Area Community Foundation, announced renewed work on Safe Cam Phase 2. This community effort aims to increase camera coverage between downtown and the riverfront. Safety along the water has become a priority after a Viterbo University student went missing last year and was later found dead in the Mississippi River. Elliot Hines' death was ruled an accidental drowning.
The police department uses this resource and this tool in our investigations in helping us do those follow-ups or find out the what's might have happened. And so that's really important that we continue to grow this and look down the path of what's next.
Madison police are stepping up traffic enforcement along South Park Street after a teenager was hit and killed in early February while trying to cross the road. The posted limit is 25 miles per hour. The driver who killed Alexander Sasha Rosen was going about 62 miles an hour, according to the criminal complaint. Officers say additional signage and the sobering memorial for Rosen are not enough to get some drivers to ease up.
In the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, there's still a lot of moving violations even with several marked squads parked right on Park Street.
Police say the added patrols on Park Street and Fish Hatchery Road will last at least through the end of March. The City of Madison's CARES team have new response vans to help people facing nonviolent behavioral health emergencies. CARES teams are made up of one paramedic and one mental health crisis worker. They'll now drive these vans designed to keep people out of the elements while receiving care. There's a table and seating area inside, plus medication and supplies. Tonight, residents of Beaver Dam are talking about how a new data center could affect their city. They are calling for greater transparency about the Meta AI data center, especially after some say the project moved forward without broad public awareness. Comedian Charlie Behrens was also in attendance tonight, joining the conversation about energy use, water consumption, land impact, and other community concerns. Proponents say AI data centers bring jobs and economic opportunity to the community, but Behrens had a response to that.
If you're time and again being cut out of the loop, out of the decision-making process, are the jobs worth that? And I think a better question is, why can't we protect people like we protect the bottom line?
There is a second potential data center project proposed in Beaver Dam right now. Israel's prime minister has called for the people of Iran to rise up against their government. ABC's Melissa Adon's got you covered on the chilling response from leaders in Iran.
Tonight, the war with Iran intensifying. The Pentagon saying this is the most intense day of strikes yet.
We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. But we do so on our timeline and at our choosing.
New video from U.S. Central Command shows American troops unleashing massive air attacks on multiple Iranian boats near the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump on social media saying the U.S. completely destroyed 10 inactive mine-laying boats.
The U.S. military is drawing up additional options following the president's directive to continue keeping the Strait of Hormuz open.
The U.S. now saying it's eliminated 16 mine-laying vessels. The war waging on despite Trump's message yesterday that it would soon end. Iran's top security official issuing a direct threat to the president, posting on X, "Watch out for yourself, lest you be eliminated." Israel's prime minister tonight calling for regime change, telling the Iranian people, be ready to seize the moment. The Pentagon now confirming at least 140 American service members have been injured so far in the war, 8 severely wounded. A surviving soldier from the deadly Iranian drone strike in Kuwait at the start of the war, describing to ABC affiliate KSTP the moments before he witnessed it crashing down.
I remember turning my head to the left and I seen the nose of that drone pop through. And as soon as it did, I knew what it was. It was either a missile or a drone. And that's when it blew up and just blew the whole building apart.
The war with no clear timeline raising questions. Influential podcaster Joe Rogan asking why we're there in the first place.
It just seems so insane based on what he ran on. I mean, this is why a lot of people feel betrayed, right? He ran on no more wars and these stupid, senseless wars, and then we have one that we can't even really clearly define why we did it.
Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Wisconsin Representative Derek Van Orden was in attendance this past weekend for the dignified transfer of 6 U.S. soldiers killed in action.
One of the service members' mom and dad are my constituents. And to be able to sit there and grieve with them, I think was very, very important. Speaking to their mom and dad and the widower, this is so sudden.
Senator Tammy Baldwin and a handful of other Democrats in the Senate are calling for public hearings about the war with Iran. The senators say if those hearings don't happen, they'll hold a series of war power votes.
This president went to war, a war of choice. We were not under attack. We were not under imminent threat of attack. And the American people, through their elected members of Congress, have not had a voice in this yet. And that's why we're demanding hearings.
Well, still ahead here at 10, workers plan to picket after claiming they weren't paid for work on a Madison apartment construction project, how much they say they were owed, and the developer's response.
And showers and thunderstorms continue to roll across the far southern reaches of the state, though we're also tracking chances of freezing rain and snow. I'll let you know when we could see that transition.
Welcome back. Construction workers in Madison are urging the Common Council to stop working with a construction company they say didn't pay them for a city project. 13 workers say they just received $75,000 from a subcontractor of Bear Real Estate Development for work on the Intersect apartment complex. They filed a complaint with Worker Justice Wisconsin.
We want to make sure that as city councilors and as state officials approve funds, approve projects, use taxpayer dollars to build more housing in Madison, that they make sure that the developers are doing it ethically.
Bear Real Estate Development confirms they paid the workers but denies any wrongdoing, calling the wage theft claims reckless and saying there was no evidence. Focuses on the need for local control over wind and solar projects. Supporters argue communities, not the Public Service Commission, need to have power over the projects, says they may impact tourism, property values, and community well-being.
You heard me say, let the locals decide what they want in their communities. I don't think people from Madison or people from the PSC should be dictating what rural Wisconsin looks like.
Opponents of this bill point out the economic and environmental benefits of clean energy.
Clean energy, particularly from large-scale wind and solar, are the cheapest and cleanest sources of energy we can generate.
Both sides of the debate noted the need for developments that put Wisconsinites' interest first. A federal court order now requires FEMA to reinstate funding for the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities program. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul says the order forces FEMA to restore hundreds of millions of dollars to communities. For over 30 years, the program has helped people prepare for natural disasters. Brad Schimmel will not stay on as the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Wisconsin. Today, federal judges in the district announced they decided to not extend his appointment beyond next week. Attorney General Pam Bondi appointed Schimmel in November to a 120-day interim term. A majority of judges in the Eastern District say instead of Schimmel staying on, they want to wait for President Trump to nominate a permanent replacement who would need to be confirmed by the Senate. The Wisconsin Elections Commission is launching a new election information hub for voters. The 2026 Election Information Hub has news, data, key election dates, and voter resources in one spot. The goal is to improve public access to election information. A Madison B-Cycle will be officially opening for the season on Friday. This year also marks a major milestone, Madison B-Cycle's 15th anniversary, originally launching in 2011. The birthday will be celebrated on May 22nd. B-Cycle allows riders to rent out e-bikes and return them to other B-Cycle stations in the city.
Now, 27 storm track weather with Chief Meteorologist Cameron Hopman.
It has been a bumpy night for some of us. In fact, we're still tracking some pretty decent shower and thunderstorm activity across the far southern reaches of the region. A couple little cells out towards Darlington. This cell near New Glarus did trigger a severe thunderstorm warning earlier on this evening in Grant County. You can see a few bigger shower and thunderstorms off to the north and east of Madison out towards Watertown, Mayville, but for the most part, things are fairly quiet, and that's kind of how it's been, right? a lot of the hefty shower and thunderstorm development kind of hugged the state line, and that is because temperatures at the surface are just way too cool. There is no heat in the atmosphere that help fuel these showers and storms. So yes, we got some small hail, we have some heavy downpour, some flooding, but the brunt of that storm system continues to affect portions of Illinois and Indiana. We have seen our fair share of severe thunderstorm warnings. One storm in particular that rolled from the Kankakee and I-57 near the Illinois-Indiana state line pushing northeastward. This cell in particular still not necessarily a tornado anymore, but was a tornado on the ground for quite some time. It's going to be interesting to see how long of a track of a storm that was. But you can see tornado watches remaining in effect back into the Quad Cities. This system will continue to affect portions of north central Illinois. Again, if you have family and friends down towards central Illinois, shoot them a text, give them a call, let them know that it's not over yet. There are more storms on the way. Here at home, we still have shower and thunderstorm activity rolling across the region. The National Weather Service maintaining the severe thunderstorm watch through midnight. Those areas shaded in pink. I would be surprised if those don't fall off over the next little while, but you know, for the time being, we're still watching some of these cells. And because we could see some additional hail, it's likely those severe thunderstorm watches will remain in effect, at least for the time being. Our constellation camera is showing just a bonkers number here. It's 34 degrees, and we're talking about a threat of severe weather 2 degrees above the freezing mark. There are temperatures off to the north of us at the freezing mark. Baraboo, Montello, Camp Douglas. Now you're also noticing some areas of freezing rainfall, and that becomes a concern overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. As that severe weather chance tapers off over the next hour or two, we're looking at temperatures tumbling, chances of isolated rainfall lingering, and as a result, the possibility of some freezing rain and ice in spots, though the latest model data looking a little bit better, less significant threat of ice overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning. Notice, though, we will have strong northerly winds, wind chill values by the time you're waking up 24 degrees. And just a reminder, yesterday, it was 70. We're going to wake up the wind chill values near 24 tomorrow morning. 32 degrees at 6 o'clock, 33 by 8. We do see chances of scattered snowfall make their way back into the region tomorrow. We're not looking at a ton of snow, maybe a dusting, but the majority of that melts fairly quickly. As of right now, the National Weather Service maintaining a winter weather advisory for Juneau and Adams County. 37 degrees your high temperature on Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, 47. We'll have 43 Friday. Saturday, a high of 41 degrees.
Director Carl Winter.
The NBA single-game record book needs editing after tonight, as a player has moved ahead of the late Kobe Bryant on the all-time list. Unless you remember Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in 1962, this is the most you've ever seen one man score in one game. Bam Adebayo goes for 83 points tonight for the Miami Heat in a win over the Washington Wizards. The former Kentucky player and three-time All-Star shot 43 field goals and 43 free throws, a record, and scored 43 of his points in the first half, but the number of the night is 83, as Adebayo moves above Kobe's 81 for second on the all-time single-game list. Not nearly as joyful of a night for the Bucks. Giannis and Kyle Kuzma returned to the lineup after sitting Sunday, but the Suns beat Milwaukee 129-114. And it was another eventful day of free agency in Green Bay as the Packers release Nate Hobbs, replace him with Benjamin St-Juste, lose Romeo Doubs to the Patriots, and then sign kick returner Sky Moore. 5 girls basketball teams from our viewing area will play for a gold ball this weekend in Green Bay. And for one, the bond between two communities drives them toward their dreams. The team practices at Beloit College to prepare for the college-length court at the Resch Center. But they're no strangers to the Resch, having played and won a gold ball there in 2024.
We moved up to Division 4, so we didn't know how we'd compete at this level, but to see that we can excel, even to level up and make it all the way back to state, which is the goal, is quite really cool.
This year, a new challenge. On their own, Albany and Monticello high schools each have less than 90 students. But because of their success, the co-op team was elevated to Division 4, where it has the smallest team enrollment.
Being from a small school, there's only 20 kids in your class. Well, now you just made 10 more friends, and it's really nice to expand our little community.
Of the 10 girls on the team, 3 live under the same roof. It's the one high school season all three Olsen sisters will share.
I mean, we've always played together. It's always like one-on-one in our driveway, but I mean, it's my favorite. I've always thought about playing with my sisters, and I've always wanted to do it, and being able to do it now, it's so fun. I love doing it.
Molly Olsen played on the 2024 state title team, but Albany Monticello lost in the sectional final in 2025 and lost 6 seniors after that. But with a balanced roster with 3 players that average double-figure scoring, they're back on the big stage.
I bet during the playoffs, everyone looked at Albany Monticello will beat them. But then this little scrappy school comes and beats them, and I think they were all surprised because we just out-hustle everyone, I feel like, and we'll give it everything we got.
Now in just the 3rd year of the co-op between the Albany Comets and Monticello Ponies, the Space Stallions, as they're lovingly known by both communities, reeled off 6 wins in a row to reach the state semifinals yet again.
It's no longer an Albany thing or a Monticello thing. It's an Albany-Monticello thing, and it's pretty neat. It's special. It's been strong from day one, and it just continues that way.
The Space Stallions are joined in Green Bay this weekend by fellow Six Rivers Conference member Barneveld, plus Fall River, also in Division 5, Beaver Dam in D2, and Wisconsin Dells.
In fact, we just started hearing some pretty heavy rain here at the studio on Madison's west side. As of right now, the National Weather Service maintaining that severe thunderstorm watch that at least goes through midnight. We'll continue to keep a close eye on this over the next few hours. We had a high temperature of 53 degrees in Madison earlier on today at that 4-degree guarantee. Over 1,500 in that pot now. A high temperature of 37 tomorrow. A reminder, yesterday was 70. 37 tomorrow. We wake up to a chance of freezing rainfall. We see chances of scattered snow showers. There's a winter weather advisory for Marquette, Juneau, Adams County until 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. What is going on, Mother Nature? Figure it out. 47 your high temperature Thursday, 43 Friday, but watching Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Look at this, 41 Saturday, Sunday, 36, Monday, 23, snow chances back in the forecast Sunday and Monday. We're going to watch those closely.
Is Carl going to be okay getting to Green Bay for
sure.
WIAA?
It's Green Bay. It snows all the time up there.
Okay. All right. Drive safely.
I think we'll be fine.
All right. We'll see you on Thursday, Carl. We'll see you tomorrow on Wake Up Wisconsin. Have a good night.